πολύ πρόσφατα η ελληνική στατιστική αρχή σήμανε ίσως τον πιο ηχηρό συναγερμό όλων των τελευταίων ετών για το δημογραφικό. Τα στοιχεία του 2022 ήταν όντως εξαιρετικά αποκαρδιωτικά. Η χώρα κατέγραψε ουσιαστικά μία γέννηση ανά 2 θανάτους και με τη συνολική πάντως δημογραφική κατάρρευση να καθίσταται κυριολεκτικά ένα υπαρξιακό στοίχημα για το μέλλον μας.
Empty villages like this one on the Greek island of Chios serve as a reminder of a new kind of threat facing the country as a whole. After years of economic hardship, many young Greeks have decided to either move abroad or delay starting a family. With its population expected to plummet in the coming decades, the nation is now grappling with a severe demographic crisis. I've come here to understand the reasons behind this issue and its implications for Greece's future. A traditional religious ceremony is held in a remote village of Chios, an island of 50,000 residents located in the northern Aegean Sea. The summer holiday is coming to an end, and for many locals now living abroad, this is an opportunity to reconnect with old friends and family.
About 80% of the people that are from my village live in the States. I moved to the States in 2008. I run a business in Brooklyn. The only thing you see is people just leave the villages, or kids that grew up in the villages, once they're done with school, or once they're a little bit older, or they want to start their own family, they move from the villages to the big cities or even out of the country. It's making me sad. It's upsetting. But unfortunately, because there's no way of even making enough money to support yourself, let alone your family, that's why we all move out. Ελλάδα δεσμά.
As a result of this emigration, many villages in Chios stand deserted. Houses are abandoned. Schools and businesses remain closed. Playgrounds lie silent. The whole region now serves as a quiet testament to a bygone era when hundreds of farmers lived here.
Το χωριό μου ήταν ωραίο, αγαπημένοι, δυστυχώς. Βλέπω που φεύγουν και λυπάμαι. Κάθε σπίτι που κλείνει, κλείνει η καρδιά μου.
Calliope is the only permanent resident of her village. At 87 years old, she says she has no intention of leaving her birthplace.
Αφού του γεννήθηκα, εδώ παντρεύτηκα, εδώ έκανα τα παιδιά μου, εδώ όλα. Εδώ και έναν άνθρωπο να υπάρχει στο χώρο, θα βγω και θα πω μια καλημέρα. Ενώ κάτω είμαι μέσα στους ξένους ξένοι.
Almost every region across Greece is witnessing a similar trend. In just 10 years, from 2011 to 2021, the nation's population decreased by over 3%, falling to 10.5 million people. The mayor of Chios attributes this decline primarily to the economic crisis of the 2010s, which severely impacted peripheral areas and led to the exodus of about 500,000 Greeks.
Υπάρχει μια συνεχόμενη μείωση του πληθυσμού, ειδικά στις νέες ηλικίες, διότι η κρίση έκανε τον κόσμο να ξαναφεύγει προς τις ευρωπαϊκές χώρες και προς την Αμερική και λιγότερο στην Αθήνα και στη Θεσσαλονίκη για να βρει μια καλύτερη τύχη, καθότι εδώ, ειδικά για αυτούς που έχουν πανεπιστημιακές και μεταπτυχιακές σπουδές, σε αυτή τη φάση είναι λίγο δύσκολο να τους απορροφήσει η αγορά. Με αποτέλεσμα να έχουμε μία μείωση στο πιο ενεργό δυναμικό του νησιού, με ό,τι αυτό συνεπάγεται.
While Greece has officially exited the financial bailout programs that were marked by severe austerity measures and social unrest, the effects of the crisis still resonate today. Unemployment is close to 11%. Youth unemployment is double that rate. A quarter of the population is at risk of poverty, and income inequality is one of the highest in the Eurozone.
The country did not get destroyed. However, people suffered. And many young people do not have very strong incomes that would make it easy to have a family.
According to this economist, the crisis accelerated the decline in Greece's fertility rate, which has now fallen below the EU average. Combined with the brain drain and rising life expectancy, this trend poses a serious economic risk to health and pension systems.
The main problem is that you are going to have a smaller number of people who are working, and now these people, they would have to support a large population of older people. So in order not to overburden the young people who are working with this, you have to increase the productivity in the country, you have to bring in technology, you have to encourage the inflow of immigrants, especially in high productivity jobs, and all that you hope that are going to get you through the next 10, 15, 20 years that are going to be difficult because exactly of the population shrinking.
In 2023, the Greek government established a first ministerial mandate specifically focused on addressing the demographic crisis.
I would very easily call it the biggest and the largest challenge and threat that Greece is faced with.
The new ministry has introduced several financial measures, including tax breaks and higher state allowances for newborns. However, the minister insists that these incentives need to be complemented with additional support for future parents, such as affordable housing, childcare facilities, and other benefits.
I would like them also to have the opportunity to have a good schooling system, to have a good public health care system, or to be able to have a job that can cater to the needs of the family, whatever the size of their family, of that family may be. A big part of our action plan on demography is targeted on reinforcing and intensifying our efforts in order to let the people have the freedom to stay back in their city or their village or the region where they were born. Locality will play a very important role in dealing with demography.
Back in Chios, Anastasia, a restaurant owner, is acutely aware of the issues fueling the demographic collapse of local communities. Since she moved to her village 20 years ago, nearly half of the residents have left. The only children remaining are her own 3 kids and 1 other girl.
For a kid in general, it's very difficult to stay in one place without having any friends. They feel lonely, they feel depressed, and they feel bored. There's no doubt that the children, when they finish school, they want to leave. There is nothing interesting for them at the village right now. So they want to study and they want to move. And the fact is that as a parent, I think that this is the right thing to do.
Emigration was the recourse some of Anastasia's customers had to turn to. Nikos and Mary, both natives of Chios, moved to Baltimore, USA 2 years ago. Regardless of Greece's economic recovery or government efforts to support families, they say they can no longer envision a future in their home country.
Εδώ ήταν δύσκολα, δουλεύαμε και εδώ πέρα από το πρωί στο βράδυ, δεν βγάζαμε αυτά που πρέπει να βγάλουμε και τώρα ζούμε στην Αμερική και είναι καλύτερα από ό,τι φανταζόμασταν. Πήγαμε για ένα καλύτερο αύριο και είναι απίστευτα καλύτερα από ό,τι φανταζόμασταν. Αγαπάω την Ελλάδα, είναι το κράτος μου, απλά δεν θα γύριζα πίσω, όχι. Και να αλλάζαν οι συνθήκες, δεν θα γύριζα ποτέ πίσω.
For a very large period of time, even though I had my degree, I was unemployed. I couldn't find a job. And I had to work as a bartender or as a waitress that are very good jobs. But it's not what I studied for and what I hoped for, my future. So if you have to work like 10 to 12 hours a day and not earn as much money as you want to, how can you buy a house and how can you raise a family? You can't.
Demographic decline is a growing concern across the EU, with the continent's population expected to shrink by 4% over the next 50 years. However, during the same period, Greece could lose up to 25% of its people, presenting a significant challenge for both present and future generations.